Manchester United part owner Jim Ratcliffe and the rest of the club's board spent nearly 8 hours holed up inside the London HQ of Ratcliffe's company Ineos on Tuesday, with the club still insisting Erik Ten Hag's future was not on the agenda despite United's worst start to a season in 35 years. I know all that because I spent 8 hours standing outside Ratcliffe's Ineos HQ in London on Tuesday, hoping to grab a word with any of the Red Devils power brokers inside. This video will cover who was there, a timeline of the day, what we know about the high-level discussions at this stage, and what it all means going forward. So, Ratcliffe's chauffeur-driven black Mercedes drove up a pedestrianised zone directly opposite Harrods in London's swanky Knightsbridge neighbourhood so he could be dropped off right outside the office block entrance around 9:30 a.m, with most of his fellow board members arriving around the same time in quick succession. Ratcliffe was joined by American co-owner Joel Glazer, Chief Executive Omar Baradi, Sporting Director Dan Ashworth and Chief Operating Officer Colette Roche, plus Ineos bigwigs Dave Brailsford, Jean-Claude Blanc and Rob Nevin. Technical Director Jason Wilcox was also present, but he didn't arrive until around 11:30. Now, it's worth noting at this stage that these meetings occur monthly in line with Ratcliffe's pledge to hold regular high-level football meetings in person, which was a commitment he made when he bought his 27.7% stake for £1.03 billion in February. So, although Tuesday's near 8-hour epic was not called as an emergency meeting, it was one of the longest summits since they've been taking place, which has led people to question United's insistence that Ten Hag's future was not on the agenda. Once Wilcox had arrived late morning, things felt somewhat quiet until around 1 p.m, but that was when whispers began spreading that the board had decided to sack Ten Hag despite the Dutchman leaving the UK for a short holiday after United's 0-0 draw at Aston Villa on Sunday. Ten Hag felt confident his job was safe during conversations with United's top brass following that game, but then those whispers appeared unlikely anyway around 2 hours later when Colette Roche left the building, as it was likely she would have been present to discuss non-football related business matters, with any such discussions around on-pitch issues likely to have taken place after her departure. That would have left around an hour and a half between Roche's departure and Ratcliffe's exit at 4:45 p.m, but that all happened after Ineos Sports CEO and former Juventus chief exec Blanc left through the main entrance shortly before Ratcliffe, which sent the waiting public into a frenzy, with many mistaking him for the United owner and many others just not having a clue who he was but deciding to take photos anyway. And it seemed that media and public scrum around Blanc's exit made Ratcliffe security decide that a discreet departure out the back door and the private car park would be the preferred option. And that's exactly what happened just before 5 o'clock as Ratcliffe's black Mercedes reversed into the building's private car park, where we caught a very brief glimpse of him and Dave Brailsford climbing into their cars and zooming off into the London rush hour. Again, we must state that despite having spent £172.1 million on players that Ten Hag wanted over the summer, and the club still languishing in 14th place in the Premier League, the United stance is still very much, look, there's nothing to report here. But as SunSport's Northwest correspondent Martin Blackburn wrote after the meeting, there was also no confirmation from within Old Trafford that Ten Hag will definitely be in charge when United's Premier League campaign resumes a week on Saturday after the international break at home to Brentford. Look, whatever happens from here and whatever United's actual approach is privately, given Ratcliffe's recent refusal to answer when he asked whether he had faith in Ten Hag, the Dutchman is certainly on shaky ground and the club's current form will not be acceptable for long. It also doesn't help Ten Hag either that top quality managers Graham Potter, Gareth Southgate and Thomas Tuchel, who United spoke to in the summer of course, are all jobless and chomping at the bit to get back into management.